Hello and welcome back to the trend analysis series of Drishti IAS. I'm Aisha, and in today's episode we will be covering the trend analysis of last 5 years of geography subject, and we have divided geography into two halves, that is world geography and Indian geography. So we will be seeing that what are the important segments from where the questions have been asked in the last 5 years, and what is the weightage of each segment, and what are the focus areas that you need to prioritize in your preparation, as not much time is left in the prelims 2024 and it is already the starting of March, and the prelims paper is scheduled to take place on 26th of May. So let's begin. As geography is considered to be the subject that has bounced back in the last 2 years, because earlier its weightage with each passing year was decreasing, but specifically if we talk about, then in the year 2023 there were a lot many questions which were being asked from the geography section. So let's begin, and moving ahead in the series of trend analysis videos, today we will be covering geography, and in the coming videos also you will be seeing the other subjects that are being covered. So let's begin with the CSE Pre 2023 geography MCQs. So there is Indian geography and there is world geography. In Indian geography we will specifically be covering the Indian aspect, and in the world geography the world aspect. So if we talk about then Indian geography, then from the part of physiography there was one question, drainage system 1 question, mineral and energy resources 3 questions, and miscellaneous 1. Mineral and energy resources is an aspect which is increasing in relevance, and specifically with regard to minerals, like what the minerals, where are they found, its ore, then what are the specific areas where they are found, what is their application, how are they used, or how is their relevance increasing in the world trade also, then what are its uses also. Then coming to world geography, earth and universe 1 question, climatology 2, resources of the world 1, world regions 3, and miscellaneous 1. So in total in Indian geography and world geography there were 14 questions. So in total there were around 14 to 15 questions from Indian geography and world geography. And if we will see the average of geography, so that is also around 9 to 11 questions. So this is about the 2023 weightage. So I will be dealing in detail in that what comes inside all these topics. So let's begin. So we will be covering the years of 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So first of all, first point is that India at a glance. So India at a glance, if we will see that not many questions have been asked from this portion, but this portion becomes important for you to develop your knowledge of geography, because if you will be able to understand the history of how the geography developed, then what becomes easy for you is to develop your understanding of the subject. Then comes the geographical features. So the geographical features, in the year 2019 there was no question, 2020 1 question, 2022 1 question, and 2023 also 1 question was asked. So when we talk about the geographical features, so the geographical features, like for example, becomes the theories that you have to talk about, like the plate tectonic theory, who gave the plate tectonic theory. Then you have to also talk about the earth, that what are the layers of earth, atmosphere of earth. So these are the kind of topics that you need to know, and specifically the theories part, that what the theory focuses on or who propounded the theory. So this was about geographical feature. Then comes the drainage system, and drainage system is a topic in geography which is very important, because a lot of questions is being asked from this aspect. So 2019 there was 1 question, 3 questions in the year 2021, 2 in 2022, and 1 single question in 2023. And when we talk about the topic drainage system, what becomes important for you to know is about rivers, its tributaries, estuaries, deltas, peninsular rivers, Himalayan rivers, of what is the flow of those rivers, because drainage system is like, you can say that you expect a question from this aspect, and UPSC has not disappointed, because every single year you will be able to find a question from the drainage part. So being very clear with regard to that how the flow of water or what is the drainage system of India is very important. Then comes the climate aspect. So climate aspect is, you can say, becomes important, and every year this question is being asked from this part also. And when we talk about the climate aspect, then you need to know that what is the flow of wind direction, and then interconnection of wind with other aspects like wind with temperature, wind with rainfall, wind with humidity, how wind plays a role in this, what is the weather phenomena, then how the weather phenomena changes in India. So these are the part with regard to climate. But climate from India's part is fine, but climate, when we talk about the world geography, becomes very important, because from the respect of world geography, the number of questions that is being asked with regard to climate is much more than what is being asked from India's respect. Then comes the soil part. Then soil, a single question was asked in the year 2021. And when we talk about soil, then we need to be very aware about the types of soil. Like for example, alluvial soil, laterite soil, red and yellow soil. Then these are the type of soils then you need to know about, because the types of soil, what can be asked is, where are these soils present, like which Indian respect, like the North India, South India, East India, West India, what is the type of soil that is specifically present in this area, or what is the proportion of the pigments which is present in the soil, or what are the things because of which the soil gets a certain texture or a certain color. So these are the things that you need to be very well aware. And there is one more respect that you need to be very well aware about, is that what are the crops which suits that particular type of soil. Then comes the aspect of natural vegetation. So from natural vegetation part, a question was asked in 2019, one question, 2021 one, 2022 single question, and in the year 2023 there was 2 questions from natural vegetation. And when we talk about natural vegetation, it also covers the aspect of forest. We need to know about the different types of forest, like for example the deciduous forest, tropical forest, montane forest, etc. And then what are the specifications of those forest type, or the what are the special features of those forest type. So these are the things that you need to be very well aware with regard to the natural vegetation. Then comes the agriculture and livestock. Now agriculture is an aspect which is increasing in prominence, and then agriculture, single question was asked in 2019, and there were 6 questions in the year 2020, and this was the year when the agriculture aspect in the UPSC preliminary examination came to the life again. And then in the year 2021 there were 2 questions, 2022 there were 3 questions, and 2023 there was no questions being asked. But you can say that on an average 2 to 3 questions is being asked from the agriculture and the livestock aspect. And when we talk about the agriculture aspect, then you need to be very well aware about the crops, like what are kharif crops, what are rabi crops, what are zaid crops, what is the harvesting period, or what is the sowing period of it, or what are the specific conditions into which certain type of crop grows. Or the question can be asked in the format like a paragraph would be given to you specifying the features of a particular type of crop, and then in the end the name of the 4 crops are given, and you have to identify reading the statement that which is this crop. So that becomes very important. And then when we talk about the livestock aspect, then livestock aspect you need to be very well aware specifically with regard to the trends, that how is the livestock has increased or decreased, how is it performing in the last 5 years, and what is the improvement that has been seen, or what is the contribution of the livestock sector in India's GDP. So these are the kind of things that you need to be very well aware about. And specifically with regard to agriculture also, even though it comes in the economic aspect also about the sectors of agriculture, how much are they how much are they contributing to the GDP, but this also becomes important from geography aspect. Then comes the mineral resources. Then mineral resources, if we talk about, then single question was being asked in the year 2019, 2020 and then in the year 2023. Now when we talk about the mineral resources, you need to know about the ores of and the minerals, and then in which sector are these minerals useful, what is the which state in India, from India's perspective, which state or which is the location under which this mineral is being produced more. Then from the world aspect also you need to know that this particular minerals production is highest in which country or lowest in which country, and which particular world area is considered to be good for that production of that particular mineral. So mineral resources, and the number of questions moving around the mineral resources are also improving or is also increasing. Then comes the part of energy sector, then there is industry and transportation, and then there is tribes. So you can say that these points becomes the part of human geography. So when we talk about the transportation sector, so transportation sector means that you need to be very well aware with regard to the roadways, the railways, the ports, and then the airways, and with regard to them all the schemes that has been introduced. So industry, if we talk about, the location of the industry becomes very important for you to know that which particular industry is present in which area, and also with regard to world geography that this particular industry is present in this world area, and this is the place where the production of a particular thing takes place. Then if we talk about the tribes, then the population of tribes, then which state has that particular tribe, then what is the status of that tribe, what is about their language, about their culture, and also why that tribe was in news, and if any particular festival or is related to that tribe, then that thing also becomes very important. Now if we talk about the energy aspect, then you need to be very well clear with regard to the solar energy, renewable energy, wind energy, or sustainable environment, because the sustainable environment aspect is increasing in relevance and the question is being asked from that respect. So if we talk about the industry and transportation in particular, then single question was being asked in the year 2020, 2022, then there were 2 questions which was asked in the year 2023. Energy sector also 2 questions was asked in the year 2023, and in 2022 also there were 2 questions which was being asked. So human geography aspect is increasing. Earlier we saw, you can say that in last 10 years papers, that the drainage system or the climatology or the physiographic aspects were very particular, but now the human geography is very much increasing in relevance. And apart from these things, what becomes important for you to know and which can be asked in exams are about cyclone, then earthquakes, then tsunami, landslides, or etc. Any kind of natural calamity or natural hazard, because knowing about the technicalities of how the cyclones are formed or how the earthquake is formed, the questions have been asked earlier and it can be asked. Then apart from this, knowing about the types of clouds has also been asked. Then apart from this, what becomes important, and in the last 3 to 4 years that we have seen that the relevance of mapping in the geography section has reached to next level. Around every year you will see that 3 to 4 or it may go up to 5 questions also. So mapping becomes very important. So map every year expect around 3 to 4 on an average questions. And when we talk about map, you should be very well aware with regard to the places which are in news. What is that location? Like for example, if Galwan Valley is in news, you should know that which river flows through Galwan Valley, or what is the location of the Galwan Valley with regard to Jammu and Kashmir or with regard to Leh, and which does Galwan Valley share international boundary or not. So these are the type of topics that you need to know, and these are the locations which becomes very important. And many a times the location of a national park, wildlife sanctuary, tiger reserve can also be asked. So places in news, animals in news, or if anything which remains in news and you see that it has a particular relevance from India's perspective, go and see that in the map. Now coming on to the world geography aspect. So let's see. If we talk about the universe and solar system, so single question was asked in the year 2019, 2021, 2022, 2023. So single question was being asked in all these years and from universe and solar system. And if we talk about the universe and solar system, what becomes important is knowing about all the layers of the earth, like for example the crust, mantle, core, how the development of solar system take place, about the different things like the asteroids, the meteors, because that the technicalities can be asked, that how is it different from the other one. Then comes the aspect of the natural hazards, which I just told you, that is cyclone, tsunami, earthquake, then space sector, and then this also comes. So a question was asked in the year 2019, 2022 and 2023, as I just discussed. So in this respect also you need to be very well aware about, and also when I talk about the cyclone, the location of the cyclone also becomes important, that where that particular thing has taken place. Then comes the aspect of solar radiation, heat, budget. So from solar radiation and heat budget, 2 question was asked in the year 2023 and a single question was asked in the year 2022. So when we talk about the heat budget, solar radiation, the temperature, humidity, so all these aspects, oceans, land and ocean connectivity, or what is the relation between the how the winds are being followed from the land to the water and from the ocean to the land, then about the clouds, then about different layers of, you can say, the environment, be it troposphere, stratosphere, then all these things comes into this aspect. And then a very particular portion, if we talk about from world geography, is climatology, because if we talk about world geography, then the questions specifically is being asked in the UPSC from the climatology part. So what becomes important from the climatology part is, first of all, you need to be very well aware about the climate regions. Like for example, you need to be very well aware about the different climate regions, like for example those 8 to 10 climate regions that we have, the Mediterranean region, the Laurentian type of climate or the British type of climate, and what are the specification and the features of these, because questions in the previous years have been asked from the climatology aspect. Then what becomes important for you to know about is the ocean currents, is the wind system, specifically knowing about the westerlies, because westerly nowadays remains very much in news. Then the jet streams, then the El Nino, La Nina, or the Southern Oscillation or the Julian Median Oscillation, all these kind of things also becomes important, and the world phenomena taking place and its impact on India. Like for example, if El Nino year or La Nina year is going on, then what will be impact, what will be its impact on India, whether the rainfall will increase or the rainfall will decrease. So these are the things that you need to be very well aware about. Then also about the monsoon, because the wind system throughout the world, because it is, the wind is so much related to the ocean, and then the movement of the water from one place to another place, the cold currents, the warm currents, the major fishing grounds. So these are the things that becomes very, very important. And then knowing about cyclone and anticyclone, I've told you already. Then the atmospheric pressure. So these are the things that need to be very clear about. So if I talk about the climatology aspect, then you can say that on an average around 3 to 4 questions are being asked from the overall climatology aspect from the world geography. So this was about the thing. And if we talk about the world geography in overall, then in the year 2019, 8 questions was asked, 2020 5 question, 2021 5 question, 2022 8 question, and in the year 2023 11 questions was being asked. And a major aspect of world geography is the map section. You need to be very well clear about the places in lieu. Like for example, if I have to give you an example, so because the Israel-Hamas war is going on, so the location of Hamas or the Gaza Strip or the Israel with bordering countries, rivers, or if it shares borders with any kind of sea or not, and then about the Suez Canal, about the Red Sea, and the Red Sea is also so much in news, then the location of Red Sea, the bordering countries of Red Sea, or it opens into which ocean or which sea, all these things becomes very important. And if any kind of particular cyclone has erupted, so the location of that cyclone, any kind of vulnerable or island which has submerged, so that becomes important. So overall the places in news is very important, and from world geography you will get a question in the UPSC preliminary examination with regard to the world geography map section. And that is why, seeing the relevance of map, we also cover two different programs, like for example from India's perspective, that is News on Map India, and from world map perspective, News on Map World. So this was about the geography trend analysis of the last 5 years. So I hope you keep on watching the other episodes of the series which are coming up in the coming days. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading, keep writing, and keep subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.